I'm bringing my own flavor to this. It's not just going to be about individual ship testing. It's going to be about fleet complements. It's going to be about proper mothershipping. Being able to take on multiple things at once. You know, salvage, mining, cargo transfer, some combat, you know, multi-role opportunities. And here is our testing collection. So we're going to have some fun, man. Hopefully we don't have too much interference. Terra Gateway's pretty off the beaten path. But yeah, we're in our 325A, which is a ship that I love dearly for all kinds of fun, especially stealth-related combat fun. We got our F8, our Arrow, our Buccaneer sporting the new Redline Drake paint. You know me, guys, can't resist. At the request of Hawks Gaming, we are going to try cramming the mole in there some way, somehow. And of course, we've got our double golem combo that I was always planning to use. I'll probably lose it a few times too. We've got our Vulture, which looks pretty huge, actually, compared to the other ships. And then, of course, our Prospector and our Fortune. Alright, I am going to start with the honorable mention at the request of Hawks Gaming. How you doing, brother? We're going to see if we can get the mole in there at all. For anybody who's worried about top hangar door closing, you can lock it open through engineering. Not very reliable if you actually store the ship in a hangar right now. Had a problem with that with my command module getting purpled because the door actually closed anyway. But bed lugging tends to work just fine. I think the problem is actually going to be length. Yeah. We are too long. Well, that's a problem I didn't foresee. The Ironclad is now drifting away. Well, I'm gonna have to stop that. So yeah, no, the mole is far too large to fit in here in any fashion. So that one's off the list. We are far too big. Sorry, Hawks. Sorry. But hey, at least we know now, brother. All right, I think next we stuff the F8 in there and see what kind of room we have. Damn. She's big, guys. Hang on, what if... Nope, that makes her wider. I think that's functionally a no. And I don't want to purple the F8 in here, so... we're not going to push our luck. Let's see how our larger salvage and mining vessels do. If I was to make a guess without having done this yet, given the interior design of this ship, putting our forks in towards the midsection aft is likely the best bet for this. Look at that. Oh yeah. It takes up a good chunk of space, but I can see application for bringing your Vulture with you. That's pretty awesome. I guess we should do a door test, shouldn't we? That's a win if I've ever seen it, guys. Like a glove. Okay, now we're gonna go for the larger twin combo, salvage and mining. I'm actually very intrigued by this combo because it expands the breadth of what you can do. See, we're coming up on that turret now, and we are pretty low to the ground. I don't know that we can deploy gear. Let's try. Oh. We'll try it. We're here to see what all we can fit, and hopefully get back out. As much as I do like the Salvation, it's just very limited in its ability to break apart other ships. That's my reservation with it. Easy to fit in there, but if we can have a larger practical team, why not? It's why we do the science. But this, with the Golem, now that might very well be an option. This might fit. It's gonna be a little weird. We're gonna have to wiggle a little. But holy shit. I think I was wrong. I think we have a fit. I'm sure people will figure out other ways to maybe better get them to fit, but time to do the door test, which is looking good. I'm kind of blown away by this. And you know, we could probably fit a snub here, and definitely could fit some ground vehicles back here, like the Rock, probably the Rock DS, the Geos and such, which I plan to eventually get in here. But let's definitely focus on ship fitment. Mothership idea. I'm genuinely surprised. Alright, having tested our larger vehicles with some surprises, we're getting into more of what my original dream ship complement was gonna be, which was our pair of golems here, and then originally the Salvation with a fighter of some sort. Imagine my buddy Mugen and I having our ships in here facing opposite. Alright, this is about where I'm gonna leave her. Right there. Power down. See what else we can cram in here. kind of a pain to get inside, but if I'm configuring more for a bunker day, probably wouldn't be so bad. Ah, that's what was happening. I wonder if I can remove that turret. Probably just the guns. I don't imagine I could remove the whole thing. Well, let's take this off and just kind of set it down. Actually, you got some gridded space here, I bet. There we go. My first time using the grid on the Ironclad. Now, can I get the actual... Ah, that'd be too good, man. What about this one? Nah, okay. I think this might be the first triple threat, awesome mothership combo. I'm gonna try to get as much usable space out of this as possible. We had so much more room, I didn't even realize. Holy shit. Good God, man. The easy solution here is actually to move the 325 over a little bit. Still. Yeah, we could easily move the 325 over a little bit. If you're wondering why I would have an aux, it makes it to where I wouldn't necessarily have to bring the Ironclad all the way to the station. I could run off what I want with the aux and then bring refills back with the aux to the Ironclad. It's part of my, transport synergy. Kind of like having an MPUV cargo, except you can go bigger because Drake. Now this is gonna get cramped if we actually manage to get the fortune in here, but might be worth it for some of you guys. And that's what I'm here for. You could always just go with a smaller fighter, running your Pitbull or the Arrow that we have out here for testing too. We got the Buccaneer we're gonna try. So, tons of options.
Engines inactive.
It's about as centered as I can get for this test's sake. Otherwise, I would just slightly bring back the Golem, allowing me to bring the 325 a bit more center line. Now let's do the test. Let's see if we can get the fortune in here, because that gives us a pretty sizable salvage ship to run with our sort of bunker daily fighter and our mining vessel. We're not getting the pivot over the nose that we need. 325 is just a little too long. However, you could move it over more to starboard, which would allow you to fit this in. Shuffling this around, you likely could Tetris it a bit to get this to work. I think you could do it. You just have to kind of squeeze the 325 over. That would create the needed space to throw the fortune in. I don't think that would be out of reason. Is it the combo that I would use? Probably not. I'm also a bit picky about things kind of looking crisp, and this gets a little sloppy for my taste. But doable? I think so. The next part, we're actually going to leave the Golem where it is to see how easy or how bad it can be to try to move ships around each other. That's another part of being a practical mothership. This 325 is pretty big. I might need to move the Golem, but I'm gonna see. Gentle corrections. Gentle corrections. Come up a little bit. Roll a bit more. There we go. We are clearing our Golem. Looking good. We are out, and damn, isn't that 325 sexy? I want to see the buck, because the Arrow can fold. I feel like that's the easy one. Let's see, what are our dimensions looking like? Pretty amicable, I think, for this ship, because this thing would be able to fit in several places, like on this side, as well as being tucked back underneath. I think it might be low enough to really get under there, which we'll try that too. But yeah, you can easily see how it would fit right here without really taking up much space. You also, I guess, want to think about how much you plan to use your ramp. If you want to block that entrance with a ship like this or leave it a bit more open to have your cargo easily come on and off. I likely would shift my ships more to the midline, in the aft area of the cargo bay. Let's see how we can move around this. Delicate motions, decoupled life makes this so much easier. Yeah, we are sliding right back here, even sideways. You could fit a few bucks in like this, man. It might be better to leave it sideways, actually, than turning it. Don't want the wings to clip the stanchion. Getting pretty close. Yeah, that's beautiful as far as spacing. Holy cow. Man, I tell you what, guys. This might be the bird that comes with me. We still have tons of room to move around. It fits really well on this side. It leaves tons of space over here that we could bring that ship forward. Let's see, let's actually push this in more since we have the room. Now, if I had some rocks stashed back here, yeah, I would need to shuffle around a little bit to get them out, but it really wouldn't be that hard. There's so much room to move around, and my God, it looks like we haven't even taken up any space. Back to the fortune real quick. I didn't expect to be taking a MISC ship into this combination, but if it makes sense, man. If the Golem Ox fits in this space, I think I have my combo. It fits well, it looks good, it's organized, everything has its place. We'll have salvage mining combat and like shuttle transport for goods. That is my Mothership dream. It's not going exactly how I was expecting. I mean, this will easily fit. If anybody is curious about the wingspan issue, like when it's tucked up, I'll go ahead and do that so you can see. I don't foresee that being an issue at all. But yeah, there you go. In case you were curious, the wingspan will absolutely fit. No problem at all. I am curious here, because the Ox has some hips, man. And having the Ox is kind of a luxury. I almost feel like I would need to figure out another ship to kind of fill that space with, but I guess the rest of the space could also just be usable space for salvage goods and mining bags, cargo and all. I don't need 4 ships. Oh, this might puzzle piece right in, dude. I might have to bring the golem forward a little bit more, but actually I don't think so. Well, is that pipe gonna touch? Not if I nudge a bit more to starboard. This is really happening. Well, that puzzle pieced right in there, which means that with a slight adjustment of the fortune, it'd be an even easier fit, because I can actually slide the fortune back some. Ooh. 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 Okay. Ah! Oh, the animation pulled me through. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. This is obviously the largest piece of the puzzle here. Not too much, not too much. I can even afford to go a little bit more centerline with it too. We got a little bit of room to go to the starboard side. At least now I'm not colliding with the Golem Ox. Let's adjust the Ox a little bit now. Still really close to that door. You know, the simpler option might actually be right in front of us. Let's see if this ends up just making more sense. I think it does. I think it does make a lot more sense. I think that might be the setup, guys. Sure, it's a little crammed. Will I always run like this? I don't know, but that tackles everything that I really care to do. You know, we've got storage from the Ox for bunkers, as well as combat with the Buck. We can run stealth with a lot of this setup. We've got the larger salvage opportunity with the Fortune, and then the Golem is very capable in the hands of an experienced miner. I know how to bring out its potential with a couple of surges and lots of patience. Yeah, this is not the combo that I originally saw in my mind. It was actually something like an Arrow or maybe a Pitbull when it comes out, with the 2 Golems, which were there for sure in my head, and then a Salvation. More room to work with than I thought. Let's hop out real quick and we'll take a peek at all of our available storage space still that we'll be able to take advantage of. And of course, you know, I'm going to be streaming with this ship tomorrow, as long as they don't take it away from us with the patch tonight. And we're going to actually put it to work. You know, we've got room in here, which means there's going to be plenty of space for extra bags, space to store our salvaged goods. And these guns here. We got space back here for other vehicles. It is tight. You know, we probably won't have the room for all the bags that I want with this setup, but that's where you can make changes to your configuration. You can make sacrifices to give yourself more space. I can stuff bags back here. I would like to use the more gridded space, which is another reason I'm probably going to end up sticking with the Ironclad freight. I know some people might think it'd make more sense for me to go with the assault, but I'm not going to give up on the freight yet. I'm gonna run with it for a while. Tons of space behind these for, you know, stashing RMC that'll come out, as well as construction materials from the Fortune. And yeah, I guess for the rest of it, we'll have to just keep on playing and testing to see what the practical solution ends up being in the end. Let's go ahead and do that final door test. Close her all up. Nutty, man. We are sealed. Without there being a fix yet on the command module, this is a bit unreliable for now, because of the whole way you have to get around potentially having a faulty module that you have to blow off or work around in whatever way you decide necessary. One of my methods is to actually land the command module in the bay of the Ironclad itself and then bed log from the Ironclad's main body. Problem with that is afterwards the command module will become sort of inert with docking. I tried a million things, it wouldn't work. The only way I got the command module to be able to dock again was by actually landing at a station and storing it. I was able to bring it back out, go back to my Ironclad, and then I was able to dock and continue. Outside of that though, our last test, and to demonstrate how I go about currently using the Ironclad with its current issues, is to take care of the actual main body first, and then store the command module second. Alright, now that we've touched down, all we're going to do is right alt in and undock. I like to go on the other side. It's a little bit easier to navigate. And a bit more reliable for parking since they like to keep these edges so thin. Alright, you just want to come in on the other side of that yellow line. It's a pretty normal spot to stop it right there. So far, in my use of the Ironclad, this has been my method for undocking, storing the ship, and swapping out components and stuff, and then getting back out there. This has been a pretty easy little workaround sequence for this. That hopefully won't be something we have to do forever, but, you know, it allows it to be playable. Yeah, there we go. Go ahead and just drop it down. And those ships, by all accounts, should sit there, tucked in, just fine. I actually haven't put the Ironclad away yet today. This is the last bit. Oh, that weird thing's happening where it pushes me through the roof. This is one of the weird things that's happened today. We go non-corporeal and phase right through the station. And we should be fine to actually continue phasing through until we're out of the station. I don't exactly know what's causing that, but hasn't been a real issue yet. Just hop back in here and go ahead and land. Alright guys, that is a long hard day of testing done. More shenanigans as we get ready to leave. Should be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and store this thing. And we're saved. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have other things you want to see tested, let me know. I do want to do a follow-up trying out a couple other ships that I don't have the current in-game money for in the PTU to buy. Those will come soon. Thank you so much for hanging out, seeing my method for this, and I'll catch you guys out in the verse. Take care.